Hello, hello. This video is a quick review of the components that will be covered on the Unit 2 exam, which is chapters 4, 5, and 6. The written, or I should say the online exam, is 30 total points, 15 multiple choice questions. So I am going to do a quick run through. Please take notes as I discuss each item on the test. It is an open notes test. I repeat, an open notes test. So bring your notes along to the exam. You will be able to use them. Okay, first item, sentences that are written most effectively. This is your first question. You're going to look at 4 sentences and you have to identify which sentence is written most effectively. Key things here, look for sentence length. Remember, the shorter the sentence, the easier to comprehend. The longer the sentence, the less easy or the more difficult to comprehend. The other thing too we want to remember is subject first if it is active versus passive. So that's your first question. You're going to look at 4 sentences and figure out which is written most effectively. Your hint is sentence length and subject first. Question number 2, cliches. Cliches such as the grass is always greener or the grass doesn't grow under your feet. Those are things that are cultural phrases or sayings that can be misinterpreted. So we want to avoid cliches when we write simply because somebody could read it totally differently. So the next question, you're going to look at 4 sentences and you have to identify which has not used cliches. Fairly simple. Next question, precise language. Writing with precision. When we write with precision, our words cannot be misinterpreted or they will not have a different meaning. So I believe the sample we used in class was, we saw a drastic increase in budget, or we saw a drastic budget change. Well, a drastic change could be good, it could be bad. Instead of saying that, let's quantify it. We saw a 26% increase in the marketing budget. That is representative and it will not be misinterpreted. So the next question on the text asks you to select the sentence which is written with the most precision, okay, that cannot be misinterpreted. The following question asks, what is white space? Okay, I love white space, you know this. White space is all the space on that paper that does not have text. It is wide open. Why do we use white space? Because it provides those nonverbal sighs of relief. It helps visually organize the message and it helps clarify. Okay, white space. The next question is about long lead-ins. In class, we worked on purging long lead-ins. You're going to look at 4 sentences. Let me back up a step. You're going to look at a sentence that has a long lead-in. There are 4 rewrites of that very sentence. You have to select the one which best purged or got rid of that long lead-in. So if I were to say, okay, on November 4th at 9 a.m. as well as 10:30 a.m., class will be held in MC 126, and on this day we will take the test. All of that information leading up to the test is a lead-in. You don't even know my subject matter yet. Instead, we want to say, the test will be taken on, give them the subject first, right? And then the necessary information. Okay, so long lead-ins, familiarize yourself with that. Next, there are 4 questions on the test surrounding BIF, or direct messages. Big idea first. Big idea first. Key things. First, that subject line. Make sure your subject line is power-packed. It's specific, it has details. If there's an account number, a credit card number, the last 4 digits, a date. For example, if I am requesting vacation, request for vacation 11/29/21. That is specific, it's stating what my request is, and it's also the specific date. Subject line. Then we have open, body, close. The opening is direct. It gets right to the point. That first sentence should indicate what you are asking. I am emailing to ask for PTO on 11/29/21. Specific right out of the gate, that's the ask. Then the body of the email explains that I will be headed out of town to visit family that is here from out of state, or whatever your reason is. Body is logic and reasoning for the ask. And then the close, we reiterate the ask and we time stamp it, meaning I appreciate your flexibility in scheduling. Please let me know if it works to take 11:29 off. If you could let me know by 11:22, that will give me appropriate time to plan. Where we're time stamping when we need to know the answer. So open, body, close. So there are 4 questions on this test where you're going to be asked which used the best opening, which used the best closing statement. So familiarize yourself with BIF, that's direct message, big idea first. Okay. There's a question on the test about formatting, specifically all caps. If you are upset at work, we all get upset at work. We have to resist taking to the keyboard. If you were to send an email that was all caps, what kind of emotion is that sending or transmitting? Probably anger, right? That you're shouting. So all caps are not recommended. There's a question on the test about all caps. Social networking. This you read about in your text, but I just want to underscore it. Reasons we use social networking or social media platforms on behalf of our workplace. It's a great way to exchange ideas. It's a great way to share news. It's an excellent way to connect with your customers or clients in real time. But the thing to note, there are some risks with a social media presence. You open yourself up to legal challenges and issues because everything's put out there and everything's permanent. Okay, so just be aware of the benefits of a social media presence, but also there's some potential risks, that being legal challenges. Okay, next question, there's a question on reply all. If I send the class a message, okay, goes out to 50 students, and you have a question for me, what is the best way to respond to that? It is not reply all, it is directly to the sender. Or remove all the recipients that do not need the message. Just send it to those it pertains to, okay? So there's a question about replying all. Next, block format. We are writing to block format. We're talking about block format, but just know that's the commonly used format in the workplace. Block format, no indentations. You do not need to indent. That's why it's called block, because the text is literally blocks across the page. Okay, this is another question, as mentioned, about opening statements, closing statements, again, pointing back to BIF. Know your opening, body, and close, what they contain. Oh, okay, here's another question. Which of the following sentences is an example of language used to ensure future business in an adjustment letter? Remember, when we file a complaint, that's called a claim or complaint, okay? We are indicating to a business that they missed the mark, or we were overcharged, or we want a refund. That's your claim. And their response then is the adjustment. That's how they handle the claim. Now, we talked about this in class, but as we know, it costs a lot more money to obtain new customers than it does to keep the ones you have. So a claim is common business practice as well as the adjustments, but the whole goal of that is to ensure future business and customer loyalty. That's why we offer refunds, adjustments, and so forth, because we want to keep that customer. There is one question specifically to BIF. If we think about that MindTap exercise where you were tasked to email, I think her name was Betty Barba, seeking information about an award recipient. There's a question similar to that. We want to make sure that the ask is in that first sentence, right out of the gate in the opening statement. Please send information on the following top performer, right? We don't introduce it, we go right to it when we write directly. Okay, I think we got it all. Again, it's just 15 questions, multiple choice. So I have taken you through the exam and tried to give you specific items to study to without telling you directly what's on the test, but lots of insight there. This should be very helpful for you when you take the test. Remember, open notes. Bring your notes. 30 total points, 15 multiple choice questions, 2 points each. And then 50 points goes towards that business letter written in block format.